Welcome to our home on this warm day. So, this is a story that goes way back, 52 years, I think, before children, and it takes place in Chamonix, France. Barry and I decided to spend the whole summer in Chamonix, France, with a Sufi teacher, Pir Vilayat Khan. We'd never met him, and actually we didn't know that much about him, but we thought that this would be, I don't know, we just felt guided to do this. It's a very different experience for us. So we packed up our backpacks and we went off to Europe. So Pir Vilayat was an amazing teacher to us, and we learned so much. And the story that I'm going to tell you is not this typical spiritual story that you would hear. And it's a story about gracefully admitting to making a mistake. And in gracefully admitting to making a mistake, you become even larger and even more beautiful. So when we met Pir Vilayat, he right away said to us, I want you to lead workshops here at the camp. And there were people from all over Europe and the United States at this Sufi camp. I don't know, maybe 100 people, yeah. maybe more. They would come and go at different times, but we were there the whole summer. And we had never led a workshop. Actually, we'd never even thought of leading workshops. And he said, oh, you'll be perfect. You'll be perfect. And he had just the most darling way of talking. And he said, listen, you lead these workshops and come to me each time before and discuss what you're going to do, and I'll give you some helpful hints. So we did that, and he was living in a cave way up in the mountains, and the rest of us were in tents and stuff it's still way up in the mountains, but not as far up as he was. So he definitely knew that we were doing these together, and we did them in 4 different languages, which was pretty amazing for our first time.
We didn't speak 4 different languages.
No, we spoke English, but we had interpreters for the other languages. So at the very end of the camp, and we met in this big circus tent. At the very end, he was thanking different people, and then he said, I would like to thank Barry for the wonderful workshops that he's been leading and how much they've helped people. And I'd like Barry to stand up. So Barry stood up, and that was a mistake.
That was a mistake.
That was a big mistake, but you did admit to it later. Could have been right then, but
he was this teacher, in our eyes, and so I just did what he said, and I didn't think, right?
I was really angry with Barry afterwards. I'm like, how could you dare stand up and everyone was clapping for you? You know that we did that together, and you admitted it.
I did.
That you made a mistake, and
I
he said,
did.
And then he said, but the person you're really angry with, the person you're really upset with, is Pir Vilayat, because he obviously knew we both did this together, and yet he gave me all the credit and all the praise, and you need to tell him. I said, oh no, I don't need to tell Pir Vilayat.
It was easier for you to be angry at me.
That wasn't hard. So Barry said, no, you're going to do this. You have to do this. Mm-hmm. So it was already evening and late, and I'm sure he had gone up to his cave. And Barry said, in the morning, I'm going to walk you over, and you're going to tell him what happened. So it was Sunday, and we knew that he was going to be going down into the town and sing at a church with some of the members of the camp. So he got all dressed up, and he was coming down the mountain in these long flowing white robes, and he had this long white beard, everything that you would picture as a beautiful, amazing spiritual teacher. And we were standing behind a big rock, and as he approached, Barry just kind of gently pushed me out right in front of him, and he said, "Oh, good morning, Joyce." And I had no choice. And I said, "It was wrong what you did last night. You gave all the credit to Barry, and because we met with you before each workshop, that I did this with him."
That took a lot of courage.
I guess I was so scared. And he said, "Oh my gosh, I did it again. I'm always making these mistakes. I'm from India, and we typically give the men credit for everything, and it's just so ingrained in me, but I want to stop. I don't want to do that anymore." And he took me by the hand, and he walked really, really fast, and he marched me down to where the group was meeting for lunch, and Barry was kind of running along behind, and he gathered everyone around, and he said, "I have made a mistake, and I want to correct it right now. Both Barry and Joyce led these amazing workshops that you've been attending, and I'm just so grateful, and I'm also so grateful that she pointed out that I left out her name. And I do that, and I don't want to do that. I want to give women the credit and the praise. I want to stop this habit of mine of giving all the praise to men." And everyone cheered, and it was an amazing moment. And I've never forgotten that. And then he looked at me and he said, "From now on, whenever you come to a seminar or for the rest of this camp, I'm going to look at you from time to time. And if I've done it again, if I'm giving the credit to men, I want you just to raise your hand a little bit or somehow let me know, because I really want to stop this." And he did. For several more years, we went to different seminars. Some were a whole week long. And he'd look at me, "Am I doing okay?" And it caused a bond between us that was so special and so beautiful. And he really became so much more beautiful in my eyes and in my heart, because he's clearly admitted to making the mistake. And so that's what I'm encouraging all of us, the two of us, too, that when we know that we've made a mistake, to just go and speak it. Or if someone approaches us and shares hurt feelings, or and we know we've made a mistake, just to really claim it. Not like Pir Vilayat was not in a lot of shame. He just knew that he had done that and was willing to apologize and move on in the most beautiful way. I love that story. And I do appreciate Barry for encouraging me and giving me that push to do something that was important.
Yeah. This is just a little thing that happened yesterday. We had our grandson and our daughter here. He's 6 years old. And we have these bottle rockets. I don't know if you've seen them, but you fill them partway with water, and then you pump with a pump. And when the pressure gets to a certain level, it takes off, and it can go up like 100 or more feet. And we were playing with it out in our driveway, and there are trees, and there was a wind, and so I was trying to make sure that I was pointing the rocket away from the trees. And then Owen, our grandson, he was the one who pumped, but then he had to run inside and pee, and so I was going to pump the rocket. And Joyce looked at me and she said, no, wait for Owen. And she kept saying that. And I said, I'm just going to pump one up myself. And sure enough, I pumped it. And because I'm pumping stronger, the rocket went even higher. The wind caught it and it landed in one of our trees. And it's still there. This was yesterday. We tried to get it out. It was too high. And anyway, the point is, I admitted that I made a mistake. But Owen, at age 6, he really, he locked on to that it was my fault, and I admitted it, and I was okay admitting it. So this was it was a good lesson for him. And he kept whispering, Grandpa, it was Grandpa's fault. Grandma, it wasn't your fault. It was Grandpa's fault. And I had no shame about admitting it.
It'll be in that tree forever. It's a great big tall tree.
Yes.
All right. So another beautiful song by Barry.
Okay. I'm just going to say the words to this, the first part. It's words cannot say what my heart already knows, and my mind can't explain what my feelings already show. Okay? Cannot say what my heart already knows, and my mind can't explain what my feelings already show. Please help me, Great Spirit, to move ever nearer to the source of your hidden mystery. Please help me, Great Spirit, to more clearly hear it. The sound of your voice in my heart. The sound of your voice in my heart. The sound of your voice in my heart. Cannot say what my heart already knows, and my mind can't explain what my feelings already show. Please help me, Great Spirit, to move ever nearer to the source of your hidden mystery. Please help me, Great Spirit, to more clearly hear it, to the sound of your voice in my heart. the sound of your voice in my heart. So let's just feel how important that is, to really listen to that still small voice, the sound of divine voice in our hearts. And when we make a mistake, be free to admit it, and it'll make you greater, not less. All right?
Well, we hope you have a good week, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah. Yeah. Blessings to all of you.